Hello and welcome to Post2Post podcast. I am your host, Neil. I'm joined with my father, Brent.
Hello.
Welcome. And we're back this week for another, hopefully around 30-minute or longer audio podcast here for you guys. We have lots to discuss. We took a recent trip over to Fredericton to film some videos with Jason and Justin. Yes, you heard that right. The entire Post2Post crew in one room in multiple videos. We filmed about 15.
Maybe.
So we're going to talk more about that, and we're also going to talk about some NHL news, which we'll probably do first and save the trip and video stuff for the end of the podcast. So welcome, everyone. If you're watching, you'll notice that I'm not wearing a hockey hat. I'm actually wearing an NFL Super Bowl hat. I apologize. I don't know why I'm wearing this. It was just the first one I grabbed. But if you're listening to the audio version of this, just picture me wearing a Super Bowl hat. Well, you've done the research of all this recent hockey news, and
since we did our last podcast, which was midweek last week.
I think it was Tuesday,
and we're filming this on a Monday, so it's 6 days ago.
July 24th.
Today's July 24th. It is, and there's been some developments in the NHL over the last week, and this is mainly a hockey themed program, so when there is some hockey developments, it's probably a good idea to talk about it.
And we could have made some videos about each of these topics. However, it's just better just to sit down and talk about them all at once in a podcast, once a week. That way someone can come and just listen and get all the news if they don't already know, which they probably do.
Yeah, by themselves, any of these topics, each of them may not be enough to sustain an entire theme, for a show.
Exactly.
Yeah. One of the first things, and it's a bit of a nagging thing for me that I saw coming across the news media in the last day or two, was the revelation that the Montreal Canadiens are now going to start charging their season ticket holders $150 per year plus tax if they want the traditional paper or cardboard copies of their season tickets.
What's the tax percentage in Quebec?
It's probably similar to what we would pay, probably 14 or 15%. So add another $23 or $25 onto that. So $240, or sorry,
175,
185, something like that. Yeah,
that's pretty steep.
Well, it's outrageous.
Obviously, it costs money to print the tickets, but that's been a cost for the last 100 years in the Canadiens' history, printing tickets for people to go to games. Why all of a sudden are they charging for it? Are they really that hard up for cash that they need that money? And is it really going to cost $185 to print, 41 tickets?
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous.
It is.
And I'm a Canadiens fan, but I'm sorry, the Montreal Canadiens.
Bad move.
You done messed up.
Yeah, bad move. I'm a big Habs fan myself. There are people who have been on a waiting list to get season tickets for years.
Yep.
And one guy wrote in, I think it was on Twitter where I was reading it, but he just got his season ticket status last year. So he has one set of season tickets, paper tickets, and he loved the idea of having them. They are all souvenirs of each game he went to. He can give them away, he can archive them or whatever. And now, after only having season tickets for 1 year, he re-upped for this year for season tickets, and now he's got to pay an extra $150 plus tax to have what he had last year for the regular season ticket price that he was paying.
And it's not like the Montreal Canadiens tickets in general are cheap.
No.
What would the cheapest seasonal ticket, seasonal pass or...
Yeah, the nosebleed, interestingly, I was surprised to find this. The nosebleed season ticket seats are, per seat, just under $2,000 for the year. Okay,
so if to print the tickets are just under $200, you're looking at like 8%.
Yeah.
8% of your cost is just to print the tickets. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the premium platinum seating is just under $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
So, for someone who can afford that, probably $150 isn't a big deal for them.
Exactly, yeah.
But someone who has season tickets, they've been on a waiting list for a long time, and they're scraping together $2,000 or $3,000 because probably you're going to try to buy a pair of seats, right?
Yeah, that's common.
And now it's going to be $300 for both seats plus tax.
That is absolutely insane, in my opinion.
In other places, like if you have a cell phone company bill or even a bank statement, you will often be shown an option where if you select a paper only or a paperless bill, they'll give you $2 or $3 a month off of your rate.
Yep.
And someone suggested on social media over the weekend that how come the Canadiens didn't give a discount to those who don't want a paper ticket rather than charge extra to those who do?
Yeah, that would have been the favorable option to take.
Public relations-wise, fine. But I guess if you're the Montreal Canadiens and you've been selling out every game for years and years and years, you maybe don't care. You don't care like Harold Ballard didn't care about the Leafs putting a good team in the ice in the 70s.
I guess, but I mean, it reminds me of the Ottawa situation where Melnyk raised the price of parking.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's already hard enough for Ottawa Senators fans to sell out that arena, as we've seen in the playoffs.
Even in the playoffs.
And you're going to make it more expensive for them to go just because of parking?
Makes no sense.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, maybe the Montreal Canadiens think they need extra money, but I think anyone who watches, the salary cap and the revenue and knows more about the business side of hockey figures that Montreal, it's one of the most valuable sports franchises in the world. They can probably get by with, what would be a negligible amount of money.
Yeah, I think it was second in hockey.
I think it's second in hockey, just after the Rangers.
It's in the billions.
The Leafs are big too. Yeah, it's in the billions. It's 1
worth.
point something.
Yeah.
And the Rangers, the Leafs, the Canadiens, they're right up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think it's a terrible thing, and it does damage or harm to the very people that are your most loyal people.
Oh, absolutely. The most loyal people are the people who have seasonal tickets, and you're punishing them.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's a business decision, obviously, and hockey is a business. And
hockey is a business,
found that out all too plainly.
Yeah.
And here's another great example of how hockey is a business, and sometimes in a bad way.
Yeah, so if anyone's listening at home and they're fans of other teams and have seasonal tickets to any other NHL team, and you haven't been charged for to print your tickets, count yourself lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
Because times are changing, I guess, maybe.
This may spread.
It may spread, yeah.
A bad disease.
Exactly.
All right. My next topic, if you don't mind, speaking of Montreal, there continues to be question marks around whether the team will sign Andrei Markov.
I thought that would have got done a lot earlier.
And I think so too, and I think the consensus seems to be that because it hasn't been done by now, it's less likely to be done as time goes on.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, and he doesn't have an agent. He's been doing these negotiations himself. That may be part of the reason for the slowness here. Maybe he's hard to find when he's working out on the beach in Florida. I don't know.
Good for him, though, for taking that independent stance. Not a lot of players will do that. So
no, and I don't know what agents get, but it used to be 10%. I don't know if it's more than that now. But when you're making $5 or $6 million a year, that's a lot of money you're giving away to someone to pick up the phone if that's all they're doing for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
The rumors are that he's asking $6 million a year for 2 years, so $12 million total, and that the Habs basically made him a take it or leave it offer, and they don't want to budge on that.
That's a lot of money for a 38-year-old.
Well, it sure is. It's a lot of money, and it's more than he's been making. So
he's getting a raise.
He'd be getting a raise.
He's 38 and getting a raise
at the age of 38. It's crazy, but he's one of the long-term players for Montreal, and that's a very rare thing these days.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I have a little quiz question for you.
Oh, okay.
The last Montreal Canadiens captain to retire as a Canadian. In other words, a lot of our captains got traded away or left and played elsewhere. Who's the last person who retired as a captain for the Montreal Canadiens?
I have no idea. It's not Saku Koivu. It's not Kirk Muller.
That's right. It's not Turgeon.
It's not Turgeon. Was Leclerc captain for a while? It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
He wasn't captain. It would have been maybe in the 70s?
It was in the 80s.
Early 80s?
Late.
Late 80s.
Yeah.
I definitely don't know. Oh, Vincent Danfus? No, he went to San Jose.
That's right.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The last Canadiens captain to retire as a captain was Bob Gainey, 1989.
Bob Gainey played hockey until 1989.
Yes, he did, according to the research I've got here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That shocks me more than anything.
Yeah. And it just goes to show you generally how a player that dedicates themselves to a team, and a team that dedicates themselves to a player, frankly, is a rarity in the NHL
absolutely,
these days.
Yeah.
And Markov was one of the people who broke that mold. A lot of me would like to see him stay somehow.
He's only ever played for Montreal.
That's right. He's never played for any other NHL team.
There's only a handful of players like that. Shane Doan is one of them, about to be off that list.
About to be,
unfortunately.
That's right.
Yeah.
Plekanec is another guy who's never played for another NHL team. And Markov and Plekanec, they started playing back when Montreal still had some people on the team who had been in and won the Cup in '93.
Yeah.
So there's a transfer of cultural ghostiness there between those players. I'd like to see that continue if possible, but if not, it's not.
Markov played in the Form. Like he was there during that transition, right? To the Bell Center, sorry.
It was really close. I'm not sure if he goes back quite that far.
Yeah.
I think he might be more in the early 2000s,
Okay.
like 01, 02, but maybe earlier than that. But people like, for instance, number 43, Montreal defenseman, 43. He played forever. Then he went away and he came back. Oh, good God, I can see him.
Marc-Andre Bergeron?
No.
Number 43.
Yeah.
What year? What years?
He was on the cup.
Oh, Patrice Bergeron. Brisebois.
Brisebois, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was with the team,
yeah.
During the cup.
Yeah.
He won the cup with the team. And Koivu joined, I think, in 95, so just a year or two later.
Yeah.
And Brisebois played with the team all the way into, sometime into the 2000s, and then he went away. Remember, he had kind of a personal journey he had to take, and he went to France for a while, and he kind of...
I don't remember that, but I do remember him coming back.
And then he came back, yeah. And I always liked him, and one of the reasons was he was one of the holdouts that could bring the cultural satisfaction of winning a cup, not just winning a cup, but winning it with Montreal.
Yeah, exactly.
There are players in Montreal, and have been, that have won the cup, but they didn't win it, with the Canadiens.
Yeah. He was also very well liked, too.
Very well liked, yeah. Yeah, so, hopefully Markov will find a way to sign. Right now, he is working out with Sergei Berezin. That's his trainer.
Weird.
Yeah, so they're down in Florida, and he's on the beach, and Berezin posted a video on Twitter of Markov doing some exercises. He's ripped. I mean, he's 38.
Yeah.
But, he's a pretty cut guy.
Well, that's what the old guys have to do to compete these days.
Yeah.
Look at Yager. He's in incredible shape.
Yeah, well, Markov just got married. He went over to Russia for marriage, and they had the ceremony. He only took 3 or 4 days off, and then he was back doing the training. Like, he's totally focused on being the best he can be this fall wherever he lands.
Well, he knows he only has a couple years left, and
I'm
sure his new wife does too. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, she'll want him to be a husband. So we'll see. Montreal still has $9 million of cap space available. It's not that they can't afford him, but it's all about value for money, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I'd give him 4 for sure, but 6 too much for me.
All right. Moving on very quickly, just a quick update of news. Pierre Turgeon, former member of the Montreal Canadiens and once a captain who left, he's been in retirement for about 10 years. He last played with the Avalanche, but when he was done his playing career about 10 years ago, he just settled in Colorado with his family. And now he's been picked up and hired by the LA Kings as an assistant coach and offensive coordinator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. I think he's a good egg, too. Good guy.
I'm learning some new stuff here because I've been busy editing videos and going through footage and just everything. So I've kind of been out of the hockey loop for a little bit. So it's nice that I'm being updated.
Very good. A quick hit on there was some questioning I've heard on air, and I think even amongst some of us, as to whether AHL players would be qualified to play in the Olympics.
Yes, I heard rumblings about that.
Yeah. I read an article today, I think it might have been even in the Hockey News, where AHL players that are signed exclusively to their team, that really aren't part of a two-way NHL-AHL sharing type contract.
Okay.
If you're just an AHL player signed up by that team, you can play in the Olympics. If the team, I guess, releases you, but you are capable of playing in the Olympics, and the whole NHLPA business and the NHL decision not to go to the Olympics wouldn't affect you.
Well, that's good news, I guess. I mean, it's not. There's going to be a Canada team. There's going to be a United States team. It's just a fact of who's going to be on the team.
Who's going to be on it.
And if AHL players can play, that's great. But so a player like Halak, who was sent down and up and down last year with the Islanders, he would not be eligible. Is that correct?
Right. Anyone from an NHL contract who's down there for conditioning or, just sent down and even cleared waivers, for instance, I don't think would be eligible. But somebody who used to be in the NHL, who's decided to want to continue to play professional hockey, like a Tom Kostopoulos, for instance.
Okay.
You remember him. He played for many teams, Montreal, Devils, Chicago. He is now 38, I think, years old. He's playing for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton team, the Penguins, I guess they are, the Pens.
Yep.
But he doesn't belong to Pittsburgh. He just plays for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton team.
Okay.
He is Canadian, and he could go to the Olympics, and he might be one of the better players on the team. He's certainly got a lot of experience, but he's never worn a Team Canada jersey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it would be a neat thing for him.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, if you look at the Spengler Cup, that's a pretty good indication of what the team could look like.
Yeah.
Some European, Canadian, or Canadian players playing in Europe on Europe teams currently, and even some younger players. Like I think Vucali played on the Spengler Cup team.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So he's worn that Canada jersey before. You might see him there.
Never know.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? All right. The other news, I think, is probably news that real good hockey fans, dedicated ones, will know. There's been some signings. Some RFAs have signed. There's some arbitration that's underway and some that was avoided. The signing of Johnny Oduya is one that you are aware of, I think.
Yeah, a couple hours ago, actually.
You told
Ottawa
me about
for
it. Yeah.
$1 million.
$1 million, yeah. There's a chance, though. There's a bonus built in there, some sort of performance bonus. I don't know the details of it, but there's another $1.5 million. No, sorry, 1.25 up for grabs for him. If he
1 plus 1.25 or up to...
No, 1 plus 1.25.
Okay.
Yeah. And the cap-friendly website doesn't describe the terms of that, but it looks like money that's available. But his cap hit and everything is $1 million right now.
I think that's pretty good for Ottawa. That's actually quite amazing. I'm definitely okay with that.
Yeah, it's a demotion for him pay-wise. He was making just under $4 million.
But he's like what, 36?
Yeah, he's 35.
35.
35. Yeah. So he's on the back end. And $1 million a year, and he'll be able to contribute.
Yeah, and he's going to a good team.
He is. He is, yeah. This is one you told me about, and I had a quick look at it. Colton Parayko signed with St. Louis.
Yeah.
Which was a good signing for them. I was very impressed with him last year.
Yeah, there's been some back and forth between St. Louis and him and the negotiation table.
Yeah.
There was rumors that it might not actually get done.
Well, it actually happened on the day that arbitration was due to start. That was last Thursday. And at the time, St. Louis was apparently offering not as much as he was asking, and that was $4.85 million for 1 year. But the deal they eventually did was more than that. It's $5.5 million for 5 years.
I think that's an excellent contract.
I think it is
for Colton Parayko for sure. Yeah, I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, and I think he's a player. He's only 24, and I think he's a guy who probably thought he might be worth more in a couple of years, and maybe that's why he didn't want to go too long, but 5.5 for 5 years, I think that's good for everybody.
Yeah, that's great. Great news for St. Louis, for sure.
Yep, very good. I forgot to talk about the other Ottawa signing when we were on the topic of Oduya a while ago. They've got Dzingel. He's 2 years, $1.8 million a year on the cap. The salary isn't exactly 1.8 each of those 2 years. It's 1.5 in the first year, 2.1 in the second year, but it works out to 1.8. So he's been signed. He's a right winger.
Yeah, that's respectable.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
good race.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking about it in my head, but yeah.
And one that you've asked me about was Arvidsson.
Yes.
Yeah, Arvidsson signing. He's got himself. His 3-year entry level contract wasn't very much. It was a typical entry level contract.
It was like $1 million or something. Or less.
Not even that.
Yeah.
630-something thousand. Yeah.
Wow.
So now he's in. This is a rumor, although it's pretty well confirmed. The rumor was released by Nashville's PR people, so it's not been officially released by the league or examined by a third party, but it's pretty solid, I would think, and it's for quite a bit of money.
$29 million?
$29,750,000 divided into 7 years.
7 years, okay.
Yeah, so it's $4.25 million roughly per year on that.
If he performs like he did last year, that's an incredible contract. So
yeah, and he's 24, so that nice 7-year contract, he'll be in his early 30s. He'll still have some gas in the tank, but he'll have made a pile of money and probably maybe hoisted some silver over his head by the time that happens.
Hopefully, you don't want to jinx him, but
no,
that'd be nice to see.
That's why I didn't say the word.
Yeah, we won't mention the word.
We won't mention the word.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like in when a goalie's having a really good game and hasn't let anything in.
Yeah.
And then the announcer says the S word.
That's the S word. Same thing with baseball pitching.
Yeah.
I swear that announcers do it to jinx them.
Probably do.
If they have a home team they're cheering for, they'll say the word and then it's curtains after
exactly,
that. I don't know how that works, but there's karma. Another one, it looks like Tampa Bay has closed out their work. Steve Yzerman has built his team now. He's got Andre Palat signed.
Yeah, I think they have like, what, $3.2 million left in the cap.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. So
they could still do some more work trade-wise, I guess, but
yeah. He has signed, and he's consistently made more money as his career has progressed, and now he's going to be up to $5.3 million over the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So they're set.
Oh, they're good to go. Yeah.
They can stand pat and put a good team on the ice.
The team last year underperformed, and I would not be surprised if if the Tampa Bay Lightning actually won't come back this year and won the Stanley Cup. I can see it.
Yeah,
they can go deep in that playoffs. That team looks so good on paper. So
there's a lot of people predicting. There's maybe 3 teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that will likely make them this year and be dangerous, and one is Tampa.
Another one must be Dallas.
Dallas is another one.
Philly.
I don't think I saw Philly in the conversation, but in fact, I'm drawing a blank now on the third one. And these are just, everyone has an opinion.
Winnipeg?
Right? No, it wasn't. Darn, I hate to say 3, and now I can't remember the third.
Yeah,
makes me look
what,
like
what
an
have
idiot.
you done here?
Makes me look like quite an idiot. Well, I couldn't remember Patrice Brisebois a while ago
That's
either,
true.
too. So I
Just
think,
age.
yeah, my idiot status, my ancient status has already been revealed. But yeah, that's and teams that may not make the playoffs include Ottawa in one of the articles I read.
Yep.
And also included, I think maybe somebody was thinking San Jose might be in trouble making the playoffs next time around.
Yeah, that actually wouldn't surprise me, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's too bad. Alrighty. So those are some of the big signings that we are aware of. There are some RFAs that are still out there for grabs. We've got Draisaitl, who's not been inked yet.
I think the Oilers fans are getting nervous. I saw some questions on our Discord recently about how come they haven't signed them. What do you guys think? What's going on?
And they had a bargain for him. When he was entry level, they had a big bargain. He was just under $1 million. Now it looks like he's valued in the $7-8 million range. Especially after McDavid's contract. And but the Oilers have money. They have room to sign him.
They have room.
Yeah,
they do. But I mean, you have so much money wrapped up. Hypothetically, in Draisaitl and McDavid, if that contract was done, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. And Draisaitl, he can't get arbitration right now. He doesn't quite qualify yet. And arbitration's a quirky thing. You need to have a certain age and then a certain number of years played and all that before you can qualify for arbitration, and he doesn't.
Okay.
So I think it's just a straight old matching thing with him. So
all right.
He has to take what they give him, unless someone can bid them up and try to hurt Edmonton by offering him crazy money. Edmonton might just say take him, but I think that'd be a good deal for anybody to get him.
I think so too, yeah.
So I don't know where that's going to go. Pasternak with the Bruins. He's maybe worth $5-6 million. The Bruins have a $13 million left over in their cap.
I'd probably give him 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in the 7 range. He's a very, very good player.
Granlund for the Wild.
Yep.
His arbitration date begins on the 6th. I think it's 4th of August. He becomes eligible for an arbitration process at that point. So right now he's still in the chatting stage.
I think he's going to cash in as well. Probably around 6 or 7 for sure.
Mm-hmm. And they still haven't signed Niederreiter or Foligno yet. So
got some work to do.
They have work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ryan Johansson with the Predators. Unless something's happened since I last looked. Preds still have $14.5 million in cap space, and the talk around him was about $4 million, but maybe more. I don't know.
I thought I heard some rumors there's a little higher than that, but hopefully he finds his contract there, because he was great for the Predators this year.
Yeah. So that's just a recap of some of the action in the NHL. It's all happening in the boardroom, not on the surface of the ice, and a little bit happening on the beach in Florida.
Exactly, yeah. Like I said in the last podcast, it is the dog days of summer. That's why there's been a lack of current hockey news, I guess, on the channel or discussions. We've been doing some statistic videos. We've been doing more local videos, just exploring more countries. We've taken a look at the Swedish arenas recently, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that in the future. We're going to look at other arenas from other countries. We're not going to rank them. I felt that was a bit pointless for that specific video. And also, we just want to slow down with the ranking stuff.
Yeah.
And I had more fun talking and looking at the arenas than I did about the rankings. I didn't care about the rankings.
Yeah, I like that.
So in the future, when we do the Norwegian ranks and the Finnish and the German arenas, we'll just go through the pictures, discuss what we like and what we don't like, and I think it's good exposure for North American fans as well, because they get to see arenas that they've never seen before. And of course, they can go to Google and Google the interior of the whatever arena. But I mean, if they can just come to one place, like the Post2Post channel, and see a video showing all the arenas in one league, I think that's pretty cool.
I think
because I would personally watch something like that if someone else did it. So
yeah. And you've had some great help from some of the viewers.
So much help. I've
sent you information.
Yeah, we'll talk about this in a minute, but we were just traveling, and we got home yesterday, I checked my email, Post2Post email, and there were probably 5 emails from people. Here's the German rinks. I've done all the work for you. Here's all the pictures.
Yeah.
Here's the Finnish arenas. I've done all the work for you. And more people feeding me statistic stuff. So lots of help from the Post2Post community. I really appreciate it. And based on the emails that I got over the weekend up until today, that's probably given me at least 22 videos. So that's not exaggeration. And I think it is literally 22 videos that I've gotten just from people feeding me stuff. So I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to go through it. I'm excited.
I just, you gave me a sneak peek at some of the British league arenas. Some of those buildings are gorgeous.
Incredible, yeah.
Yeah, I
really,
can't wait
really nice.
to see you get to that show.
Yeah, it's very unique. Like each country you go to, there's, I don't want to say this a bit of a style, but there almost is. Mm-hmm. A lot of the rinks in England or wherever, I don't think, is there any teams in the British Elite League? Oh yeah, there is some in Scotland, right?
Yep, there's several in Scotland, and there's one in Wales.
Yeah.
And then there's several in England, too.
But in general, the arenas are very stylized, I guess. They're unique, very unique looking and odd shapes, some of them. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was neat to see.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, and so yeah, we went to Fredericton.
We did?
And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. We're just going to take a little break. All right, we are back from our break. Just had to get a little drink and reset the camera there. Before we get into our weekend story, let's talk a little bit about this old beast over here.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure what camera it'll be on. I'll put whatever camera it's on.
That one there looks good.
So this is yours, I guess.
It is.
And we've decided that we're going to keep this here for at least a short term and keep the Post2Post post in it.
Yeah.
The mail that people have been sending us. So far we've gotten 4 pieces of mail. And we'll keep them in here until we open them, and then depending on what's in them, we'll either put them on the shelf as an item. We have a shelf out there with lots of hockey stuff. We'll put it out there. If it's a letter, we'll make sure it's put in a nice spot as well. Mm-hmm. But all the posts ready to be opened will be in this old beast. So let's open it and show you what's going on in here.
Here, we got some mail already by the look of things.
Yes, we've got 4 pieces of mail in there, three little letters and 1 large letter.
1 package. This is from Oklahoma.
Yes, from Oklahoma. We've got one in here from Nova Scotia, Virginia.
And this one here is from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Wow, so all over the place.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And the larger package from that we have, it has a customs declaration on it. So we know roughly what's inside, but we're not going to open it.
Yeah, we know a little bit about what's inside, but we're waiting until we get about 10 letters or 10 things in total to open, and then we'll do a mail time video. But just wanted to show you guys that and let you guys know if you were one of those 4 people, that's where your mail is. So
right on.
So we went on a little bit of a journey to Fredericton this weekend. We left Saturday morning very early, got to Jason's place. He was nice enough to host us and let us sleep in his spare bedrooms. And then Sunday morning we got up at 7 a.m. Justin arrived around then. And we went to work. We filmed, I think, 15 videos. A lot of them were timeless videos. So the logo ranking videos, it's kind of one of those videos that you can make with all of us and it can release 4 months from now. It doesn't really matter. It's not current information. It's and it's fun. Mm-hmm. It's fun listening to other people's opinions on logos. Some of the ones that I ranked first, you guys hated.
Yeah, really. I'm surprised.
Were you really?
I was surprised with some of your rankings, and I guess people will eventually see that.
I guess so.
Man, I don't know.
And we had some good laughs. There were some funny bits. And we filmed some videos that don't have anything to do with hockey because there is a second Post2Post channel. It's called More Post2Post. I will link it down in the description. We're going to start putting videos on there publicly. They're just videos that we want to make. They have nothing to do with hockey, but we just want to make them have some fun. Mm-hmm. There are going to be more logo rankings on there, but unhockey related. So MLB, NFL, NBA, CFL, and other stuff like that. So people who only like hockey, stay on Post2Post. People who like hockey and other stuff, I hope you subscribe to the second channel, the More Post2Post channel, because there's going to be more content on there. And also funny stuff, like we did a pop taste test, a pop blindfolded taste test.
Yeah, or as they say in the States, soda.
Soda, or yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Cola, what?
Yeah.
Sody pops, that's what I call them. So
it was fun. I think there were 7 flavors.
7 flavors. I knew what they were, so I wasn't blindfolded. I was just tasting along with them, and Justin and Jason were the ones that were blindfolded.
And I was the bartender.
You were the bartender. They had to take a drink and guess what they thought it was. There were some funny parts. Someone leaked a little bit. Jason couldn't contain one of the pops, and spoiler, he did spit some out, and it's on camera. So I'm pretty excited to release that video.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's usually where I house the Patreon videos, unlisted, and then I put them on Patreon. But like I said, some of these videos coming up on that second channel will be public, so I hope you can head over there and subscribe to that channel, and you'll see it begin to grow. I'd like to do 1 video a week on the second channel, starting out, just to experiment, have some fun, just do whatever we want to do on it, and maybe grow it from there.
Yeah,
I guess.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you put up there.
Yeah, because you watch some CFL. And
oh yeah,
we can talk about other sports on there maybe.
Yeah, I watch a lot of. I watch other sports I watch golf. I watch a bit of European football, particularly the Barclays Premier League and
NASCAR.
NASCAR, big for me.
We watched some of the race yesterday. Well, tried to watch some of the race. There's accident after accident, but
yeah, I was really I was losing patience last night as it was almost too dark to finish the race in Indianapolis.
Yeah. So back to the actual videos we did film in Fredericton for this channel, Post2Post. As a preview, I guess, because I know every time I post a video, it's do blah, blah, blah league, do blah, blah, blah league, do whatever. We're going to do all the leagues. I've said this 1,000 times. You don't need to comment, but I'll tell you the leagues that we did do. We did the Slovakian League. We did the Norwegian League. We did the Czech League. We did the AJHL. We did the...
That's the Alberta Junior Hockey League.
Yeah, we did the GMHL, the Greater Metropolitan Hockey League, I think.
And around the Toronto area.
We did the NAHL, North American Hockey League. We did the NOJHL.
Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League.
We did the MJHL.
Manitoba Junior Hockey League.
We did the...
I'm running out of gas there, I think.
Yeah.
You think you might have got
We talked about the draft hats.
Yes, we did.
We did celebrities who like hockey. There are some huge celebrities who love hockey. So that was pretty cool to go through.
Yeah.
And we talked about, the secondary NHL logos ranked, which will be coming soon. So these are all basically, not all, but the majority of them are ranking videos. I'm not going to release them all at once. I know there's some people who watch the channel who absolutely hate the ranking videos and the list videos and stuff. And I totally understand that. I myself am even kind of getting sick of them, but they are fun to make and stuff, but they do get tiresome for sure. So I'm not going to release them all at once, don't worry. I'm actually going to release them probably twice a week or once a week, some kind of ranking or list.
So they'll be mixed in with more timely content.
Exactly. Yeah. We have had so much fun recently with statistic videos. It's so interesting going back and looking at statistics. So make a couple statistic videos, some history videos, history of team videos. We still have 29 to do, I think.
That's right.
And then just these general podcasts. So there's going to be lots of content and lots of variety of content, I guess, is the plan. So even if you don't like statistic videos and you don't like logo ranking videos, come watch the podcast or listen to the podcast and get filled up on NHL news or stuff like that. So there's at least something here for everyone. That's kind of the goal of the channel. Yeah.
Very good.
I think that's probably pretty much it we have for today. This podcast was longer than last week, so yay. But hopefully we can get back on track the Sunday night release for the podcast.
We're getting close. It's Monday.
Getting close, yeah.
If we wait another 6 days, we're back in the Sunday release.
Exactly. It's a bit hard to get motivation for the podcast because like I said before, it is the dog days of the summer. There's not a lot of NHL news to talk about. Luckily, this week there was actually some stuff going on, and maybe next week will be the same. But if there's not, that's okay. We'll talk about something else. We'll tell some stories, and
it'll probably be easier to do the next podcast because we're all set up again. Because you have to take all of your equipment down and take it all the way to Fredericton and set it up there. Yeah. And then you had to, with only a little help from me, rebuild this broadcast center down here in Stratford. So now it's rebuilt. In fact, there's more equipment to be put up after this.
Yeah, a couple more lights were purchased. So yeah, that's kind of the jig of what's going on now. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching or listening to this podcast. We really appreciate it. If you are watching and you are not subscribed to the channel, hope you can hit the subscribe button and join us here. We release podcasts once a week. If you want to subscribe to the second channel, it's called More Post2Post. It's going to be in the description. If you are only listening to this via audio on iTunes or Google Play or any podcatcher app, I hope you can leave a review for us on iTunes or Google Play. That helps us a lot. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for watching and listening, and I hope to see you guys next week. Adios.